What is going on YouTube? It is Quick Snoopy, and we're bringing you part 2 of the Dota 2 guide for beginners. But before we start and I give out any details, I do really want to thank you guys so much for your support on my previous videos and live streams. I've been doing a lot of live streams over on YouTube Gaming, so if you subscribe you should be able to see the live streams as well. And of course I've made previous Dota 2 guides, and it's been a while. I've just been super busy, but I really wanted to bring this here today. So I actually got this idea because I've been playing a lot of carry and a lot of supports and just a lot more in general now, and it really came to my mind that, like, starting gold, you have 625 starting gold, and let's make the most out of that. And that's kind of what today's video is going to be about, is what items you should buy at the beginning of the game, and then of course going on the late game as well, and why you should buy the items. So I'm playing Crystal Maiden in the background, and I'm going to give a little explanation right now before we talk about any of the items. Crystal Maiden actually has a passive mana regeneration. So this is like a more advanced version to my first guide. So you have the health and the mana, obviously the green and the blue bar, and the blue bar is going to be your mana. Mana lets your teammates use abilities, and the more mana they have, the more they can use those abilities. So as a support hero, which Crystal Maiden is, your job is kind of really to help out your team and buy wards. And this isn't really how to be a support. This actually works for carries as well. So if you're playing a Juggernaut or a Luna, Alchemist, whatever it is, you need to focus a lot on regeneration, especially early on in the early stages of the game, because you want to be in that laning phase. You want to be in the lane soaking up all the XP and all the gold that you can within that time period. And so I'm going to teach you guys today, and I'm going to put a little picture up on the screen right now, and I actually put a bunch of these pictures, screenshotted them and put them together for you, and it is essentially the health regeneration items that you might want to buy at the beginning of the game. So we're going to be mentioning today the Tango, Clarity, Enchanted Mango, Sage's Mask, Fairy Fire, Ring of Regen, Void Stone, Ring of Health, Healing Salve, Iron Branch, and Bottle. I think that's everything. And those are pretty much all your regeneration items. And those are for every hero. Every hero should have regeneration items at the beginning of the game. And again, that's just so you can stay in the lane longer. And we're going to talk about this. If you need to at any time, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll respond to it. So if you're watching this and you have any questions at all, just leave a comment, or you could actually tweet at me on Twitter. My Twitter is Quick Snoopy. So pause the video if you need to, and I have the gold, and then it has the stats like the regen on the screen as well. But now that we're done with that, let's kind of talk about this a little bit more. So usually at the beginning of a game, you might hear somebody on your team like Axe say, "Tango, please." And what he's asking for is asking for the support, usually, or whoever has tangos, anybody, to share the tango with the team. And you're going to see right here, I'm actually going to click on the tango and share it with the Juggernaut, who is the carry. And that will allow Juggernaut to have an extra tango. And if you look, it says he's shared. So by giving Juggernaut that extra tango, by giving your teammate that extra tango, I'm allowing him to survive in lane longer. What the tango does is, if you eat the tree, so you click on the tango and then you actually eat the tree, it will provide health regeneration. There's also clarities. You can share clarities with your team as well, and that will provide mana for your team. So all of these regeneration items are not only for you, but maybe for your team as well. And we all know Dota is a team game, so it's very important for you to communicate with your team. If they need a tango, or they'll tell you, or if you need a tango, don't be afraid to speak up and say, "Hey, I need a tango," or "Hey, I need a clarity potion, I need mana." And that's kind of why I picked Crystal Maiden this game too. I really wanted to show you guys the Arcane Aura. So it is a passive, the third ability for Crystal Maiden. It's a passive, and it gives additional mana regeneration to all friendly units on the map. The bonus is increased for Crystal Maiden. So you can see at the max, it's 3 mana regeneration for your team and 8 self-regeneration. So you're regenerating 8 mana each second for yourself just from that aura alone. And there are some items that do give mana regeneration bonuses, like 100% mana regeneration, like in the screenshot I showed a few seconds ago. So there are ways that you can really be a team player, and you have to adapt to that. Like some heroes like Juggernaut struggle from a small mana pool. You know, he doesn't have a lot of mana early on in the game, and it really affects him, especially if he uses his ultimate, Omni Slash. Then he's really low on mana, and the healing ward. So Crystal Maiden is really good for lineups that need that extra mana, and it's just really good to have in general. Because if your team ever is low on mana, you have the mana regeneration from Crystal Maiden, and then you have the items as well. So it's really just like observing the game and adapting to different situations. But I wanted to really throw that in there and kind of give you guys an explanation of why I picked Crystal Maiden. And it is just a bot match, and the bots are on passive. But I wanted to get this footage for you guys so you guys could see. I actually bought a bottle for the sake of this video, and what the bottle does is it comes with 3 charges, and every time you drink it, you get health and mana regeneration. So you're going to see right here, I'm going to drink it, and then I'm going to pick up the arcane rune that is here. Remember, the runes do spawn every 2 minutes, so I pick it up, and then if you actually drink the bottle, then it activates the arcane. So it basically stores the arcane rune in there for a little bit until you bottle it. Also, if you pick up a rune, it fills up all the charges. Remember, I used that bottle a few seconds ago, and now it has 3 charges. So that's really good for people who need the health and the mana. Again, it's not particularly good on Crystal Maiden, as she is typically played as a support. But for the sake of the video, I did get the bottle to show you guys. Now, you can actually also use the bottle on your team. So if you hold control and then click on the bottle, and then click on your team, you'll be able to use that on your team as well, which is really good because if your team is low on mana, use the bottle on them. And yeah, so you can play a little bit more aggressive if you have the bottle. You know, you can use your mana more often because you know, if I have the bottle, then I can just, you know, refill it with the runes. And you can see right here I had low health, so I actually used the bottle to get my health back up. And it does a pretty good job of doing that. And now my health is pretty much almost full again. And I used the clarity right here on the Doctor. I didn't need to be done, and I also used the clarity on Juggernaut. And again, you do that by just clicking on your team. And so Juggernaut didn't need the mana. I can look at it right now and see that his green and blue bars are full. So he didn't need the mana. Again, I'm just kind of giving you guys examples. In a real scenario, a support may do that to you. You do not want to get hit while the clarity potion is running, or the healing salve, or the bottle, or anything, because it actually will stop the regeneration. So, other than that, I think we really talked about the different types of regeneration, the mana and the health regeneration. You get more familiar with the game as you play, and I think that's really what it's all about. Right now we have a good lineup: Crystal Maiden and Doctor, Juggernaut, Drow, Axe. A lot of these heroes actually use mana. Drow uses mana for her arrows. Doctor uses mana for his healing ward. Juggernaut also has a healing ward. So it's just really good in general. And then you have Axe. And if Axe were to use his Berserker Call, his Q ability, then I would be able to use my ultimate with Crystal Maiden and pretty much just destroy them. So really good lineup here, picked by the bots, but hopefully I did explain everything pretty good. I'm kind of just showing you guys the shop right now, and these are all the different items for the basics. But other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or message me on YouTube, Twitter, and I will try to respond to the best of my abilities. And hopefully this was helpful to you guys. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.